When can you get back to sports and exercise like lifting weights after surgery for a TFCC tear in your wrist? I'm Dr. David, orthopedic surgeon and sports medicine expert. A TFCC injury is not really common to all of the population, but in certain sports you see it a fair amount, like tennis, maybe golf or baseball, sometimes gymnastics as well. The TFCC is a piece of cartilage and sort of a ligamentous complex on what we call the ulnar side of the wrist, the side on your little finger, your pinky finger. And it's like the meniscus of the knee. It's a shock absorber and a stabilizer. The reason you see it in tennis is you have a lot of twisting motions through that part of your wrist and a lot of sort of that type of motion where there's compression of that cartilage. So you can get a tear. And a lot of times what people will have is sort of a dull, achy pain on that side of the wrist, but a clicking sensation when they go to turn or something like that. So it can be really important to get it checked out. Now, surgery is typically what's needed if nothing else works, like wearing a brace and taking some time off, because if you're still having pain, still having clicking, and you can't do what you want to do, you might end up wanting to go through surgery to get back to that. The surgery is almost always through the scope. Yes, the wrist is small, but there's a way to scope the wrist that the hand surgeons do. Sometimes they just go in and trim out the small part of the cartilage that's torn. Sometimes they have to sew it back together. It's a lot like the meniscus in that sense. The recovery really depends on what has to be done. If it's a repair, you're probably looking at several months before you're back to things like tennis and real demanding physical activities like lifting weights. But by 6 months or a year, you should be, assuming everything healed well, you should be back to pretty much everything you want to do. I hope this video was helpful. Click the video below for much more helpful content. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.